You're listening to the all-new Pei Chen Show on In-Depth Radio, Newstalk 1010.
Hope you're keeping warm tonight. February is Heart Health Month, and heart disease remains a leading cause of death for both men and women. For a long time, people thought it was something that was more of a concern to men, but it is just as important for women to do what they can to keep their hearts healthy. So on the phone, I have Dr. Chris Moore. He's an expert in nutrition and physiology, also a regular contributor to Men's Health magazine. And I know you work with all kinds of people, busy moms and dads, also professional athletes. So welcome to the show.
Right, absolutely. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Moore, we hear a lot about heart-healthy living, but what does that mean exactly?
Right. Well, it's such an important topic now. And like you said, it is Heart Health Month. And basically it means taking care of your body. Obviously, the heart is the muscle that's pumping the blood, that's keeping us going. But unfortunately, most of us, many people, aren't eating well to take care of their heart. Like I said, it is a muscle. It needs exercise as well. So not eating well and also not exercising it, not moving enough. So in addition to going to the gym and or doing whatever you do for exercise, getting up and moving as much as you can. That means heart-healthy living, because sadly, many, many people are dying from heart disease.
So I know that, like you say, we should get moving, and I think people know that. Doesn't mean that they will do it. We all know we should exercise more. We all know we should eat better. We all know we should not smoke and develop bad habits. But it doesn't have to be so extreme. Like, I mean, is walking something that's, is that going to help? What sort of food should we be eating?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's such an important point you bring up, because so many people, especially this time of year, people are kind of they're still in the all or nothing thinking after the New Year's resolutions. And the thought is, I might not be exercising now, but I need to start training for a marathon. And that's not the case at all. If you want to, fantastic. Start slowly. But like you asked, walking is fantastic for you. And the more we can do it, the better. The more we can move, the better. Sadly, there's actually a term that came up that recently was coined called the active couch potato.
Oh, that's
for
awful.
The people, and exactly. And sadly, you think about it, if you have a pedometer that measures the steps that you take, you often see this. And I have one, and I've seen it myself because I sit in front of a computer a lot. I may go to the gym for an hour a day or whatever it may be, but then unfortunately, like so many people, sitting in front of a computer for hours on end, you get home, you sit down to relax, to watch TV, and you lay down and go to sleep. So many of us are sitting so much. It's dangerous. And honestly, I say the sitting is the new smoking.
Really? Well, both are dangerous for you, but we never think of sitting as being so awful because it's comfortable.
Exactly. And then sadly, it gets to be too comfortable. So going back to your point, walking is absolutely amazing. And I encourage everybody, and this is what I've started doing since I got a pedometer, again, to see, it was actually scary how inactive I was for someone who thought they were pretty active. I started setting my phone to go off every 50 minutes. And so I'll get up, walk around, move around for 10 minutes, maybe do some basic exercises in my house, or stretches or squats or something easy. Or if it's nice out, I even go out and just walk out to the yard and kind of move around a little bit. It gets me moving. It also gets me mentally a little bit better in terms of the blood flow that increases to your brain. So it's a win-win all around.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about the diet part, because I know that we're often inundated with different messages. Don't eat this, eat this. This is good for you.
Right.
This is a superfood. But I mean, to keep it really basic, what are your recommendations?
Right, absolutely. It's such an important point because, like you said, we are so inundated with so many different messages, and people just throw their hands up and don't know where to start. Number one, go back to nutrition basics is what I always tell people. Don't get caught up in the fads, whether it's low fat, low carb, gluten, whatever it may be. We know that fruits and vegetables are amazing for you. They always are. They always will be. They always have been. The more we can eat, the better. So focus on eating at least one fruit or vegetable every single meal. It's a great, quick, easy snack. It's convenient. So make those part of your daily lifestyle. That's a great place to start. We can all eat more of them.
Okay. I'm talking to Dr. Chris Moore right now. We're talking about February being Heart Health Month. Also tips on how we can achieve a heart-healthy lifestyle. So we've been talking a bit about physical activity. You don't have to be a bodybuilder or a marathon runner to keep your heart healthy with some basic movement. Healthy diets as well. Sometimes the labels can be a bit tough to decipher, but I know that now a lot of companies are making, trans fat free foods. We're, trans fats, saturated fats, that can be a little bit confusing for people as well.
Right, absolutely, and it is. Again, going back to the inundated messages, trans fat is one that we know, and a lot of companies now are removing it from their foods. A lot of fast food companies have removed it from their restaurants completely. So trans fat is definitely something you want to avoid. A manufactured trans fat has no place in the diet. In terms of fat, it can be confusing, but general rule of thumb, we all should be eating more fish, more of those healthy omega-3 fats. So that's one type of fat. Olive oil, canola oil, which is grown, most of it's grown right in Canada, actually, up in Saskatoon, Canada. I was there last year. So canola oil is another very, very healthy oil. So again, we need to focus a lot more. It's not adding these things to your diet, but it's replacing some of the less healthy foods, replacing some of the processed foods, the cookies, the cakes, the pastries, the desserts, a lot of the saturated fats that are more like a lot of the animal fats, solid room temperature, things like that. Again, focusing on fish and leaner cuts of meat and chicken and turkey and foods along those lines are amazing for you. They do wonders for your heart, do wonders for your body.
All right, so let's assume that someone, eats fairly well most of the time, exercises, but they still have high cholesterol. And I've actually encountered this with some of my friends. They, 80% of the time leave a really wonderful lifestyle. They maybe have a burger now and then or something like that, but they exercise, but still have high cholesterol. So what about those people?
Right. Now, that's a very important point because obviously cholesterol plays a big role in heart health overall. It's one of the fats within the blood. And there are certainly a number of people who are like that. Maybe it's genetic. About 40% of Canadians have high blood cholesterol. So, again, even if they do lead that fairly healthy lifestyle, and there's actually, in addition to doing that and the exercise like we talked about, there's a great and really interesting product that I've kind of keyed in on. You may have heard the term probiotics before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so they're often talked about for gut health, and they're found in fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi, or yogurt has probiotics, and even some cottage cheeses, things like that. But interestingly, there's a whole bunch of different probiotics, and the term basically there's these bacteria within our body, on our body, in our body. And to be honest, I've been in nutrition for about 20 years now, and this is really what I think the newest cutting edge area that people are going to start to focus more on, the gut health and how it really impacts us inside and out. There's actually a whole bunch of different probiotics, many different probiotics. One, though, that's very interestingly that was discovered a few years ago, they're called strains. And one strain is actually now has been shown to lower cholesterol significantly. So, which is interesting, lower the good, just total cholesterol, but then also LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. And actually it was discovered by some folks up in Canada. And the product is called Cardioviva. And again, it's a very specific strain of these bacteria that, like I said, has been clinically proven to lower both LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and total cholesterol by up to 11%. That's significant.
So is this is something that a supplement that people can take to help?
Exactly.
Their
This is
cholesterol?
a supplement.
Okay.
Exactly. You can get it over the counter. You can get it popular drugstores. It is, like I said, it's a supplement that you can take, and the research is amazing. There's actually been a good number of studies now showing the benefits of this product. Like I said, lowering total cholesterol and also LDL cholesterol, and that's great as a simple probiotic, a healthy bacteria that we all have on our bodies. But again, this is a very unique strain of those bacteria. So it's not, at this point, not something you would naturally find in foods. But right now, like you had mentioned, it is a supplement you can buy over the counter, and it's, like I said, it's called Cardioviva.
Okay. So some great tips on how we can lead a heart-healthy lifestyle. And it's funny when you're talking about gut health, I feel like that's a term I've been hearing a lot in the past few months because people are realizing how important that is to your health overall. And and as you mentioned, to heart health. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, Dr. Moore.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Have a great night.
You
so
too.
again,
Bye-bye.
That's Dr. Chris Moore. He's an expert in nutrition and exercise physiology. February is Heart Health Month, so this is a reason to perhaps take in some of his tips and do what you can to live a better, healthier life and try to avoid any cholesterol issues if you can. Coming up just in about 2 minutes, I'm going to talk to one of the business partners behind what could be North America's first cat cafe. I would like to know what you think about this. So send me a text at 71010. Would you want a cafe in your neighborhood that served coffee and pastries, maybe a light lunch, some sandwiches, someplace you could go where there also happens to be a dozen cats running around, purring, wanting to be petted, snuggling up to you, probably jumping up onto your table next to your sandwich or your coffee? People are a little bit divided about this. I guess this is for the cat lovers or the cat haters. So let me know. Again, send me a text, 71010. What are your thoughts on cat cafes? I will tell you this. They are already hugely popular in parts of Asia and Europe. And there are a couple of people in different provinces in Canada and a few cities in the States who are in the process of opening up a cat cafe. It just depends on who will be first. But I think this one in Montreal might be ahead of the game. So I'll talk to one of the business partners after that. You're listening to the Pei Chen Show here on In-Depth Radio News Talk 1010. Take a look at the roads right now with News Talk 1010. Time saver traffic.